You're now listening to the Thousand Story Podcast, presented by Thousand Story. Welcome to the Thousand Story Podcast. We are your hosts, Naji
and Luis.
And today we are continuing our conversation with our very special guest, Montalis.
Hello.
What's up, Monty?
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here 2 weeks in a row.
Absolutely. I came back just for this. Appreciate it.
How was your flight?
Hey, it was a rocky landing, but, we made it here safely.
That's good. We're glad you're safe.
Oh, man. So last episode, we were focusing on early adopters and
antique riders.
Yes, yeah. And we got a little bit more in depth with Monty's story. But now I think it's time to delve in.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, Monty, so you are artist manager.
Yep.
And you work with Soulection as the, what do you do?
Director of Operations.
Director of Operations.
Okay,
I do a
cool.
Cool. How did you get into music?
Okay.
Let's start there.
Okay, cool. Music for me, and it was interesting because I had to do the research myself before this because I forget.
Right.
Again, I just do a lot of it. For me, it honestly started in 2011, which I didn't realize. But it started off with my very first music blog called So Real that I created. And that's how actually I came across a lot of upcoming artists like Logic, Janae Aiko, Il Apacino, who is now Salt Cathedral. And just a lot of LA is another one. Super Duper Kyle. I knew about all of them very, very early on. Just because, again, I wanted to highlight musicians.
Yeah.
Especially, again, a lot of them are upcoming. So, that's kind of how everything kind of kicked off with music in particular.
Crazy.
So that was, in a way, my very first business. So from that same year, I got my very first smartphone. So, because before that, I was on a LG chocolate. Shout out to that. You feel me? Everyone was over here doing
I had
apps.
the Razor.
I was so behind.
I had the Razor. I feel you.
So it was, it was like, okay, cool. I got my very first smartphone. And then from that same week, I came across some random technology called a QR code. And from that sparked the whole business idea because I was like, I don't want mine to be black and white.
Yeah.
I wanted to design something that no one else had. So I pretty much got into designing and coding from that. Which is, it's very random, but that all happened in 2011.
Interesting.
And from that, I started making QR codes, designing them for musicians. And that led me to NFC technology. And I pretty much also created Smart URL without realizing it.
Yeah.
Until later on, I was like, oh, wait, I already built this. But it was everything's already changed. But I was like, wow. So I learned a lot from that company.
Yeah.
And then from there, I went over I created my other company, which is like a nonprofit / creative collective, if you will, called Visual Vibes. And from there, that's where I would, I was kind of just ahead of the curve on a lot of different things too early. So I was doing Google Hangouts on air and interviewing different artists. Like DeP was one of them. He was it's funny because me and him are both part of Soulection now, but it's funny because, we just got to really know each other early. Just because I knew of his music. I knew he was dope. Yeah. And I interviewed like a slew of different phenomenal upcoming artists. And and then also created, I connected with Esta by creating this this initiative called Selfless, where we would raise money for music and art-based nonprofit or charity. And we'd have musicians donate songs, and 100% of the proceeds would go to these nonprofits and charities.
Wow.
So it was a lot of going on. And then again, around that time is how I linked up with Soulection. Via Twitter. Over tweets. And the story,
That's wild.
So, that's all of that was going on before I got involved with Soulection, before I got to really, I would say, go to attend Soulection University is what we kind of call it. but yeah, that's kind of what led me to where I'm at today. But it was interesting because me and you, again, we had a conversation before, and it's like choices.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I would have never, and even with the whole music blog, my very first one, 2011, one of the biggest issues was who's going to design the website. One of my friends was going to, and he was like, "Nah, actually, I don't have time. I can't do it." And I was like, "Oh, this sucks. Like, I don't know how to do this. Like, I don't know how to design websites. Like, what?" Shout out to WordPress for being around, and that's all I needed. Like, that's what sparked it. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to have someone dictate what I really want to do.
Yeah,
so I was like, cool. I'm just going to figure it out.
You're just going to do it yourself.
I'm gonna struggle, but I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I eventually did, and that's what that skill alone opened up so much for me over time and over my life. So, like, that one choice is what led me to where I'm at today, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you were able to pinpoint the exact moment that you're,
Yeah. 100. So,
oh, man.
So yeah, and now, I mean,
But that's just music, though.
that's just music.
that's just
stuff.
music.
So,
That's just music. So let's go back even further. For me, I'm curious. Like, what was like 10-year-old Monty doing? Like, where did that come from? Where did you grow up? Just tell us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm from Virginia, Northern Virginia.
Okay.
A lot of people call it DMV, but I claim VA. That's where I'm from.
There you
You
go.
know what I mean? So
I think, is Stanton in Virginia? Or Staunton? S-T-A-U.
Oh, Staunton.
Staunton.
wait,
Same
is that where?
Is that in Virginia? Staunton, Virginia.
Ooh, it could be. I probably should know.
Damn, he claiming VA, don't even know.
Hold on. Hey, I claim Northern VA, okay? Make it very clear. So,
I mean, that's not a mountain.
no, I'm from a small town. I guess it's pretty much right outside of D.C.
Okay, cool.
Falls Church, Virginia.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, so that's where I'm from. But I grew up all around, like Arlington, Annandale. Like, I went to a lot of different places. But so that's where I'm from. But like 10-year-old me, I was just trying to figure everything out. But I was just like a hustler though as well. So I always
At 10?
yeah, like I had like 3 boys in a rake. Was my fall business. That's what it was called. We go out.
3 boys in a rake.
Yeah, so I have me and my homies. We would go out there. I had create little flyers on Microsoft Word. You know what I mean? Go around to the neighborhood like, hey, we're down. These are the prices. These are the rates. We'll make it work. You know what I mean? So it was that during the fall. And then 3 boys and a shovel, during the winter. Shout out to going back to back. And,
if it ain't broke, man.
You feel me? Yeah. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Branding, bro. It's all about
branding from early on. And so I was just hustling a lot, just trying to make things, right. And then, just hustling in VA. Just got my job, was a lifeguard, and
was high school cool for you? Did you like it?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
No, high school, I was definitely trying to figure myself out. This was the era of a lot of baggy clothes.
Yeah.
I was notorious for that. Everyone's like, "Oh, yo," like I was, and I thought I was the flyest. I was like, "Yo, do you see where I got right now?" And oh man, it was rough.
You were about to name the brand. You were so close.
It was very rough.
You were about to be like South Pole.
Yo, it was. Let's just say it was. Yo. It was a lot of transition going on. You feel me?
I'm
and I was a hardcore gamer. Like I realized in high school, like I played a lot of sports growing up. Like, soccer was my main thing, but then
shout out.
Yeah, I wish I would have stuck with it.
Man,
I was a soccer for a while.
Yeah, and I just was like, oh, this isn't cool anymore. Like, let me try basketball. Let me try. I did not try football. But let me try basketball. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
See, I wanted to go for football. My mom was like, "You don't break things."
Yeah, my mom was on the same tip. She's like, "No, like, you're gonna get hurt. Like, you're small."
I auditioned.
I was like,
I tried out.
I auditioned.
Tried out for the football team. I've been in this world for so long that audition is just a word. You know? No, I tried out for the football team and I got wrecked. That's the end of that.
Was
story.
it early on, or were you like? Was it throughout the week?
It was like no. It was early.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, it was like how do I want to say? I think I was in 7th grade, 6th or 7th grade, or something like that. Yeah, and I was like I would have been the last pick on the team. Like that's how bad I was. And it all came down to me and this kid named Andrew. I'll never forget it. Wow. And we did that test. Not that test. My God, dude, I don't even know how to call this anymore. We did that trial. I don't know.
Tryouts?
Like in the tryout where like, but, like
We did this, like,
you know, where you like
tryouts,
lie
you
on
know?
the ground, you're both lying on the ground, and then you're supposed to like get up really quickly and like knock the other person down.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I just like I slipped and I fell. I got up, I slipped and fell, and like the dude didn't even have a chance to like tackle me because I fucked up.
You got yourself.
Yeah. So they were
So
like,
no football for the
Yeah.
for the Erie household.
yeah. So they were like, yeah, just put your helmet back. Like,
Hey, you
Go
tried.
home.
You
hey
tried.
man, I tried.
Hey,
I
shout
said
out
I was
to
gonna do
that.
it the next year, but no.
Yeah.
Nah.
So you, Monty, were in the gaming heavily. Like, so did that start around that time, or was that just pretty much like?
Oh no,
life?
gaming. Oh no, gaming. Yeah, definitely my entire life. PlayStation 2, like all of that. Kingdom Hearts. Shout out
Yes.
to them. I have to do that.
Yeah.
Played such a vital role in my life. It's crazy.
See, I
Music,
still
me
haven't
too.
played the whole thing yet.
Oh, you are
man,
sleeping.
you are.
I'm
you
not,
have not-
Trust me.
you have
My
not-
sister loves it. Louise loves it. Everybody.
I love it. Like the soundtrack
yeah.
is phenomenal. That was
Soundtrack's
one of the very
amazing.
first
The
soundtracks
theme
I ever
song
purchased.
to Kingdom Hearts 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is my shit.
Yeah.
Oh
Same.
my god.
Yeah.
Same.
It's so good.
No.
But trust me.
The game is
And the
amazing.
game is incredible.
Incredible.
Like,
Yeah. I
So,
have
yeah.
them here.
I know, but we don't have your PlayStation card.
Yo, I don't know. I let a friend borrow my PS2, and it is. I've lamented the whole thing ever since it happened.
Yeah. And then we moved.
Never
And
doing that again.
made
Yeah.
it a lot
Yeah.
worse.
Because now I can't find the cable, and I don't know if he gave
Yeah.
it back to me or not. So I'm
We,
just
we
like,
can get one, but we're just lazy.
yeah.
yep.
Anyway.
Yeah. So, but no, I had to do the
Off
shout out to
topic.
Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, no, but like then eventually I got involved with MMOs.
Yeah, we're-
Shout out to my game City Heroes. You know, I played that
Right.
every day.
Hey.
Well, I tried to. I had to sneak it. You
Yeah.
know, I had to sneak to play it just because, like, you know, I should be doing homework. when I was
Parents are
playing
out there,
games.
man.
You know that. Hey, you got to be careful. But hey, at least they didn't really know technology that well, so it's okay. I just
Yeah.
turn off the screen, and that's all I need to do, and then I was
It's
not
all.
using a computer anymore.
I'm just reading.
So I was
Mom.
just doing homework. So as as I'm fighting a boss or something. But anyway, like from that, actually, I feel like that also sparked something as well because I was able to connect with a lot of people again from creating an MMO super group. And one of my friends on there introduced me to a book that I feel like definitely changed my life. He introduced me to Seth Godin, which is like a marketer I really look
Okay.
up to now. He introduced me to this book called Purple Cow because me and him, he was at the time he was creating his business.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, whatever, we're playing games, like, you know. And again, this is fast forwarding out of high school and stuff
Yes.
like that. But we always again still played the same game. Always still kept in touch. But yeah, he introduced me to Seth Godin, which also sparked so much in my life though too. And that was from
Nice.
someone I still have never met
Crazy.
in my entire life. But it's
Crazy.
like, you know, you never. It comes back
Yeah.
again to delivery and just how things are communicated. Because he was one of the homies. Like, yo,
Yeah.
I came across this book. But anyway, yeah, that's kind
That
of
book is really good because I'm still not through it yet, but I've been kind of pacing it. You know, like I try and absorb everything, so I only read about like 10 pages max
Yeah.
anytime. Like at any given time, it's just a lot. of
yeah,
information.
exactly. It is.
Yeah.
It is. It
That's,
is. for
but it's a
sure.
good book.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah, so I mean, from high school timetable, right? I wanted to pursue filmmaking. I thought I did, honestly, because I thought it was like, oh, it's cool. It's what I thought I wanted. But it's like while I was in California and growing up myself, because I moved out complete by myself.
Yeah.
Again, I definitely had my parents' support as well, which was dope. But then at certain times, things got a little rocky, which was okay. Like, you just have to figure out life. So
Makes sense.
I wasn't able to I wanted to go to community college and then transfer. But there were certain semesters I couldn't afford, so I just had my job and had to hustle.
Right,
Shout out
right.
Cheesecake Factory, Universal, you know what I mean? So I had to make
Everyone
things work.
starts somewhere.
You have to.
Yeah.
So I had to do dishes for 2,000 people events.
Oh,
I remember those moments. Like, I will not be here in years, but I remember this moment. I
Yeah.
had to appreciate it because it's like everyone has their story.
Yep.
But I will never get back to this point ever.
Yeah.
I'm going to outwork this. So that was definitely the goal. But it was while I was going back and forth between in school as I was creating my businesses and stuff like that. I was like, oh, I actually don't know if I want to get a degree in filmmaking anymore. Like, you know, on my way to pursue one dream, I found a better one, which was, you know, in my opinion, it was technology and marketing.
Yes.
And so I was like, cool, I'm making money in this, because that's when I created my music blog. Didn't make any money. That was just more so just something I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then my tech company started making money. That's like, oh, ooh, I don't know if I need to get my degree anymore and get in debt. I'm cool, so let me just pursue this fully. So that's what kind of transitioned, helped me out. But
from filmmaking.
from filmmaking on to something else. But I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it didn't help me at all. There was only 3 classes that really changed everything for me.
Yeah.
Script writing, because I realized the benefit of telling stories, which again, I'm able to apply to marketing so much.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And then social psychology, which again, same principle.
Applies
but it's just
perfectly.
but it's also that teacher is part of the reason why I'm pescatarian now. I was like a vegetarian and then I became a pescatarian, but she sparked that. It's weird how that happened, but she had to do a report on how vegetarians were being judged. Actually, that's how it started. And I was like, oh, that's messed up. Like, because people would, again, they'd be like, oh, vegetarian, you're extra or whatever. And it's like, they didn't do anything. It's just a choice that they made.
Yeah.
So from doing that, I did more research into it. And I was like, oh, I want to become one myself. Like, it's crazy. So that was really funny. But, and then I guess the last class is Photoshop. That changed so much for me.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was applying to my
design.
Exactly, my design business. So, then again, segueing through all the businesses over the years from like 2011 to 2011 was Surreal, Visual Vibes, and Creasy. All 3 of those businesses.
Wow.
From all of that, I learned so much on how to structure businesses legally and all that whole process. Obviously set up all the websites and digital space and all that.
Yeah.
But I was doing a lot of that by myself. Right. I gotta give a shout out to my Sonia who was a part of Visual Vibes, because I created that via Tumblr.
Gotcha.
But again, it wasn't able to scale the right way I wanted to because of a team.
Right.
But I learned a lot of that through Soulection, and then over time, from attending Soulection University, I learned more about the music business, and that's where I became infatuated with that structure and how things are structured and why things are structured a certain way, and why it's also a phenomenal time, because I feel like we're in a renaissance of music industry. So
that's a great way to put that.
Yeah,
that's a great way to put that.
I think we discussed that too.
We did.
Renaissance.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So what are you mentioned this in the previous episode, but what are you currently doing right now to change the music industry from what it is to what you think it should be?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So again,
and why is that important to you?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, got you. Okay, hold on. Let me talk one at a time.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm excited.
I feel you. So, okay, how I'm doing it. For me, learning how things have worked in the past, I've been able to learn from other people and their, unfortunately, their mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I was able to learn quite a bit from my uncle of mine who's been in the music industry for like 20 years. So, learning how he's still recouping from his deal from 1996, and we're in 2018 right now. He hasn't seen a dime of royalties. That bothers me. So, I realized from something like that, a lot of artists were not properly educated. But again, there was also not much he could do to get his music out around that time. But now we're in a different era. So now I believe every artist should be aware of their business at all times, collect all their royalties at all times, because it's also, we're at a different time zone now. And also, royalties is how you make a living 20 years from now. So a lot of my vision, a lot of the way I think is based on 20 years from now, how will people be from the music that we release with them now?
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't think about that necessarily. They think about, how are things going to be the next 2 to 5 years? And it's like, no. Like, you need to think 20 years down the line, when you have your whole family, are you still making money from the work that you're putting in today?
Yeah.
Most of the time, artists give up those rights and their ownership to labels.
Immediately.
And again, they do it for money. There is an exchange. So the issue is the value of that exchange is what people don't necessarily realize, and also what they're giving up. So for me, I'm really keen on educating artists as much as possible. Just, hey, you should be aware of these few different things. So even when you do have these meetings with different people, as I'm sure everyone will, at least you have the tools to prepare yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And ask the right questions.
Yeah.
And be aware of the difference between publishing and masters and all. There's a whole ton of different things. But
And your uncle, not that I don't want to get into his story at all, but I mean, he was relatively well known. Right.
Yeah.
For like in the 90s. And, right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
in 2000s. So,
yeah, because that's one of the things. A lot of people sign deals and then don't even get to do anything.
Yeah.
After they've signed it.
Yeah.
You know, they don't even get to release music. But yeah.
So he's been able to have like a long career and stuff.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. But it's like, you know, it's you
but
know,
still,
it's
to not
still,
have seen a return since '96.
Yeah. So, and again, that's on one portion of it. Again, he makes the majority of his money via shows. But for me, it's why can't artists make their money in all the different facets? Because most artists are like, cool, I'm just not going to make money on music, but I'll make it on shows. Why do you have to give up that right so quickly?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it's really challenging that way of thinking, because to me, I'm not battling people. I'm battling a mentality that's been built in the music industry.
Yes.
There's a different way of doing this.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So
that makes sense.
So yeah, I've been creating a few different formulas that.
So you think you kind of answered it already, but seeing that kind of outcome for your uncle, kind of just shaped entirely the way you operate as far as like why you want to change it and why that's important to you.
Yeah.
So when we met, in 2016, August 10th, 2016.
Yeah.
I remember it.
Yeah.
It's the anniversary.
Yep.
You know, at that point, when we were originally talking, you actually did say, you know, like, if you want to go the major route, that's cool. But, you know, I think this would be a good direction to go. You know, what did you see in me that would make you feel like that was something I was capable of? Because not every artist it can do that, can be their own independent artist.
That's true. So for me, that's absolutely true. But also, even for the artist, you need to see what you can do for yourself.
Right.
So I feel like signing something too early, guess what? You miss the opportunity to see what you could possibly do. Because if you're able to figure it out early, guess what? You have leverage now. Because it's like, oh, cool. I was able to build this, and this out without a label or without these different people involved. So now, when it is time to have those meetings, if you want to explore that, guess what? You know exactly how things work. You know exactly what to go in there for. And most of the time people they skip the education side. Yeah. Just to be like, oh, I took the money, I got this, and that's great. You're going to have you're going to have a bigger team, all this other stuff. And guess what? It's like someone just giving you a degree. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you just paid for your degree. Here you go. Even though it's not really, you didn't pay for it, it's a loan. Yeah. You know? So it's just like except you're skipping the years essentially. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how I've used it. But again, for you, it's like, also, it's being open to trying it out. True. You know what I mean? So, and that's something that you were open to. So, for those that don't know, I work with Naji as well. I don't think I've clarified. We might have mentioned it. I just wanted to clarify. But yeah, so it's really being open to trying it out and just seeing as far as we can go with it. Yeah. You know what I mean? With the resources, we have. You know what I mean? Because it's like there's so much that we can do through the internet and through different things. Again, I was able to learn a lot of that through Soulection as well, and through my other businesses by building them up all online. Yeah. So yeah.
So what we're talking about currently is mainly focused on artists and how. Yeah. But how are you changing the music industry with Soulection as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, so for us, it was restructuring the norm of how people perceive, I guess. Again, a lot of people consider Soulection a label, but I wouldn't, just because it's a lot of different things. Right. And also, we can do a lot of different things that other people cannot. So I would consider us more so a music platform than a label. Okay. So, cool. No offense to other labels, but it's like no one's really out here like, yo, let me rock the label's clothing line. Like, no one's really out here doing all that. So, and nothing's wrong. Hey, to each his own. We've been able to kind of build that type of community. And for me, it's really empowering artists to do what they love, and we were able to build out a business from that. You know what I mean? That makes sense for everyone. So for me, it was just figuring that out and just like, okay, cool. What if we flipped it instead of doing like a typical label type of structure? What if we just changed it a little bit? Yeah. Which there was a lot of backlash that I had to deal with in doing so. There was, different lawyers at the time because again, as Soulection was able to grow, a lot of people wanted us to become a label. Right. This is where, a lot of people were in our ear to, oh, you guys should do this. You guys should do that. Right. Yes. That's not actually what we were. We were a lot of different pieces. We're not just one thing. The same way I feel like people now are really multifaceted. It's the same thing with just the business itself. And so for me it came down to also figuring that out. Soulection's business overall. Right. So it's just like, cool.
Yeah. Because if you think about like the arrangements that we've made, I won't get into specific numbers, but like a typical major label deal, as we've discussed before, is like 85.
Oh yeah, I break that down. Yeah,
Right.
they do 85-15. That's a standard.
That's
that is a
85 for the
problem.
label, not the
85
artist.
to the label, by the way, people, and then or 50-50 or whatever. And for me, again, going back to that was restructuring, because it's like when you really think about it, we're helping primarily on the marketing side. So for me, was structuring it like so,
Right.
versus we own it. Because it's like, when you really look at it, artists are in the room creating the music and the content.
Right.
Even outside of label stuff, it's just like, that's really the case and always has been the case.
Right.
I guess the means of, getting the music out to people is what's changed so much.
Right.
But labels haven't changed their format. You know what I mean? That's the reason why they still
Right.
structure the deals their same way. But it's like,
Exactly.
guess what? Someone can just upload on Stem and be good. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't necessarily, and the music will be everywhere. So
Yeah.
it's like the gateways have changed.
Yeah.
The marketing is obviously where labels of different
very
platforms.
beneficial.
Yeah, platforms become beneficial. But even with that, like, my method is growing slow with everything. I am not a person who's like, oh, I want to do this. I want to come out the gate with,
PR campaign.
yeah, I need to do a full campaign. I need all the music videos in the jump. And it's like, yo, I don't know what you can do yet.
Yeah.
The way my process, the way I do it is, it's very logical, just
Yeah.
like in the pricing, because the way labels do it, they give out money early, betting on someone doing well.
Exactly.
For me, it's why don't we just all invest time and energy into it? As it does well, we all do well.
Yeah.
And then we build a relationship from there. Because for me, I have the same principle, even with selection stuff. It's just, let's build slow. Let's see what it's like working on a project and grow from there.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to just sign someone or something like that, because when I don't know you.
Right.
Like, why would we get married if we don't know each other?
Right.
Just because there are a few
Absolutely.
conversations, like, why put ourselves in
yeah.
that situation?
Exactly.
Let's both take
Just
our
because you look
times.
good on paper doesn't mean that you
Exactly.
are. Yeah.
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 Exactly.
So in my case, songs that I've released through Soulection, I feel very comfortable and confident because one, I still own my music. I still, I still am able to partner with the label. I'm still able to partner with everybody who's involved, and we're all able to build together. And I feel comfortable giving it whatever percentage that may be because it's reasonable. It's not. We are this, we're this label. You should be giving this us because it's just the norm. That wasn't the case. So that alone really impressed me because I was like, that is not a normal thing. Coming from, being in the FET collective, and I'm not throwing shade at the collective, but just being in that and seeing how many collectives operate on that normal basis, it's crazy. It was like, okay, this is not normal. So when I saw how Soulection did it, I was like, wow, like I really appreciate that. Like I'm just like, I nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
So it was refreshing. I was like, okay, I can rock with that.
Yeah.
I can rock with that.
No,
I can work with that.
I'm glad you realize. And again, it's like, no, I'm glad you realize that. You know what I mean? And I think the biggest thing, even about other collectives, they, number one, don't know how we operate. So a lot of people tried to copy us.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, just do your own thing. But also, one of the biggest issues, a lot of collectives try to be like labels.
Yes.
And for us, at one point, Soulection was trying to be like a label, but I tried to just form us like a music platform. No one can do exactly what we're doing because they can't.
Yeah.
They're not us. So for me, it was like, why structure our business like somebody's done 50 years ago when that's not who we are today? So, we're able to work with different people, build out their shows, build out the social media, do a ton of different stuff, and build them up and develop them from the jump
Yeah.
without, a label type structure.
Yeah.
So again, everyone was scared of the risk. And it's just like, what exactly are you afraid to lose? Though?
Yeah. I feel you. So so that's a lot of the things that you're doing with Soulection. So what is subtle and how does it, I don't want to say it plays into Soulection, but what does subtle then do?
It actually doesn't.
It doesn't
at all.
At all. It's just completely separate entity.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll break
cool.
it down. So subtle's completely separate.
Yeah.
Definitely glad to clarify that.
Yeah.
So subtle, again, I would call it like an artist partnership
Okay.
company because I don't, as most of the people I work with know, I don't like the term manager.
Right.
Just because it's like, yo, I'm not your babysitter.
Yeah.
And I feel like those two kind of go with
Yeah.
that. We're partners.
Yes.
I help you and, vice versa. Everybody
Yes.
wins. Everyone plays their role.
Right.
So that's kind of how I view
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But to everyone else, I have to say it just so they can easily get it.
Right. Manager.
Manager,
Management
like,
team.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, with Subtle is pretty much an artist partnership platform.
Okay.
Company, I should say, like a small team.
Yes.
Because I believe in teams, not labels.
Feel that.
So,
okay.
you know, for me, it's about finding a team of strategic people that are skilled in different areas, and we come together and help an artist, you know, build out their business and build out their music. We're just the team behind it. So what you're gonna read and see is you're not gonna see subtle necessarily on, you know, on a lot of different stuff.
Like TDE.
It will,
like,
it would probably be, you know, I still want to put the name some places, but, you know, I'm not gonna make it overwhelming so it overshadows the artist.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we are truly the team behind artists.
Yeah.
And I always want to kind of have that be the focus.
Right.
So in building that, I also work with a lot of different people. Naji included. So just to name out the, I guess. Ooh, I'm not gonna name. Oh, should I? Yeah, I can.
Man,
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, go for it.
So I work with Naji.
Yeah.
I work with an artist from the UK, Xylo.
Nice.
I work with Insightful. I work with Esta. And those are people that I personally am partnered with.
Yeah.
I guess. And then my other teammate, Jasmine, works with Joyce. So Jasmine's a part of Subtle as well. So yeah, and it's just like, and then from there I work with a lot of other people as well because I help other teams out.
Right.
So that's the other piece to it. So I work with like Sonder and Brent Fayez as well. So I work with their team. So it's just
that's
like
a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot going on all the time. But it's like I'm able to just help everyone, especially on the independent side of things.
Right.
Because again, everyone's on that same tip of let's see how far we can do it. And also, not even let's just see, let's do it.
Yeah.
We can make this and build this out
Independently.
properly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And on our own time in the way that we want.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful that everyone's patient enough to do that.
Would you consider, and this is just a question for me, like, would you consider Subtle to be, again, I don't want to, an artist partnership for independent artists?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, because if you think about it, major label artists wouldn't need, well, they would still need management.
It's still like a management team or whatever.
But they wouldn't need it to the same extent as an independent artist would.
Yeah. And again, I guess for me, part of the reason why the independent side of it is just because that's where everyone wants to be and is at least at the moment.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, that's kind of the vision.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So,
that's super cool.
But yeah, over time, I want to be able to build out tools for artists and other teams as well to be able to, you know, structure their business out properly.
Is this something that you see happening more in the future, where you'll have more teams like Subtle or partnerships like that with artists?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not Monty, but I've
See, Naji jumps in. Naji does. No, I feel like the industry, and again, not even just, I wouldn't say limited to just Subtle itself. For me, it's just like, I'm a huge believer in other people building out their own teams.
Yes.
And helping more artists. And again, you're able to do that independently. I truly believe that's possible.
Yeah.
More than ever now. So, and again, people are going to start knocking those door downs and making it a reality for people to, realize that it's possible.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
You know, if you're thinking about this stuff long term for your own personal goals, right? You're helping out teams, you're helping out everybody else, but for your own personal creative visions, you know, where do you see, I guess, yourself, your role in Subtle? Where do you, how do you do you think that'll change in 20 years, or do you think you'll be in the same spot where you're so kind of, I guess, intimately connected with these artists, or will you kind of hand off that hat to somebody else?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah.
Good question.
Is he gonna pass you off?
So what's interesting? I've read a lot of books on how people, again, like a typical management company, right? They'll build them up with, build up all the clients so they're big, and then pass them off and all this other stuff. For me, that's not my goal. I'm not trying to build the most biggest anything.
Right.
At least when it comes to that side of things. Now, I am passionate about helping other artists, so I will be developing, but I may not run that section by myself. Like I'm going to have, for me, it's about empowering other people to do what they love, and people who have a similar mindset as me, to kind of help facilitate that mindset, what I mean? And just push that vision forward. So when it comes to people I work with, I want to be able to work with them 20 years down the line. I'm not doing the whole handoff. But what I will say to that point as well is I do want to grow this out. So very subtly. But again, I just want to also, help artists release music. So that will be a section in itself. Not necessarily manage everyone or work with them in, day-to-day type of thing. But so that's one piece. I definitely just want to help people out with music releases. And then the other piece is there's definitely a tech piece to this.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my background is in tech. So for me, it's about educating artists heavy. I want to partner up with Google. I want to build into an empire of just educating. Like an education side of things.
You've been bringing that up quite a bit. And I know we've talked about it, and that's part of the reason why we decided to work on this podcast.
The podcast in general.
Yeah, it's just because there's not really a fountain of information for new artists to figure out what they even need to do to earn money as an artist.
Yeah.
You know, to be their own business owner, you know, with their own product. Yeah. Yeah.
100.
Yeah.
And again, it's just the lack, and that's what I realized is the lack of organization and uneducation in the music industry. So for me, I want to change that. You know what I mean? That's how I really want to change the structure.
Yeah.
It's the structure of the business side of things as well as the education side.
Yeah.
And then organization. So that's going to be my biggest focus within the next 20 years for sure.
And it's funny that you mentioned kind of organization and kind of structuring that out. Because, for a few different reasons.
Yeah.
So, one, so for people unaware, me and Monty have very similar minds, but they work in very different ways.
Yes.
So,
yes, they do.
So, it's been this running joke, even just down to what we use to write down notes. Like I use Google Keep. He uses Wunderlist, like my file hierarchy.
Wunderlist.
Hey. People, I don't knock Wunderlist. It is just not for me.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
I used to use it. I used to use it a lot.
That's okay.
But like even down to like file hierarchy, I am very. So everybody
This
knows
man's breaking it down.
I am very methodical about my file hierarchy. A lot of things, actually. I'm a very methodical person. Like I said, we're very similar in that sense. So even I compartmentalize things and have plans sorted out for even my files, just like literal pictures. But just speaking on that whole organization tip, it's funny that, over time, you originally came to me just to help me develop as an artist, but you actually helped me develop the whole concept of the organization, Thousand Story. And it's funny how much the kind of the values align in that sense, and where Thousand Story is, over time, we wanted it to be that kind of artist development thing, not necessarily where we're handling everything ourselves, but, just giving tools to creatives that we believe in, so we can put them in the right direction. So over time, we can be partnered with people like Subtle or people like STEM and actually implement, help people implement the right tools they need for success, which is nice. It's cool that we, from the beginning, are establishing just kind of like the base, the groundwork, to be able to make that kind of empire type situation possible. And that's just wild.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, also there's enough space for everyone to eat and win.
Absolutely.
As much as people think that it's not possible. Like it's possible for everyone to grow out their business and still succeed and grow together.
Yeah.
It's like I would equate it to, essentially it's like, if I were a Chipotle, right, and you were a Starbucks, we're both food. We're both here out here trying to get people quenched. We're both, to an extent. We're in
one's food, one's coffee,
but they're complementary.
Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts.
Perfect example. Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. Both are a specific purpose.
Yes.
Two different things, but very complementary towards one another. So they're not fighting each other. They're literally there. It's not that they're necessarily going to, push and say, go over to Starbucks, but they're not like, don't go to Starbucks. They're hey, have this. Yeah. This is also a great, a great thing you can have with this, and I kind of like the direction that we're going with, as far as like more independence in general, where we're building that kind of network where it's like, we're not out here trying to fight people. We're just trying to.
What's cool, I think, about
branches.
the current climate is that education, like giving out education and educating people doesn't scare anyone anymore.
Yeah.
Because before it was like, oh, but if I tell them how to do it, then
taking a run.
That's taking,
Oh, yeah.
Taken away from me.
And that's how, like the information, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
That truly is a very real thing.
Yeah.
Especially in music. Because it's like, unfortunately, a lot of people will continue the same cycle just from withholding information. So they would see someone get into another crappy deal because it happened to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you need to learn how it goes. But that's their way of teaching someone is I'm going to let you get screwed over. So for me, it's kind of cutting that. It doesn't really make sense. So for me, it's just like, hey, it's all good. That was your way of thinking with this different option. Just to actually learn without having to go through the struggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So So yeah, I feel like again, a lot of this is going to change over time, and a lot of people are not gonna be too thrilled.
They're not gonna be happy.
It's already the case in certain areas. But it's I'm telling you, just because again, it's a challenge when you challenge the norm or mentality. It's again, no one likes change.
Yeah,
especially businesses that built billions of dollars off of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If more artists realize what they could possibly do independently, that would change quite a bit for a lot of companies who have built their business off of, not being transparent.
Yeah.
Where do you see it going? Do you see record labels like diminishing?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like maybe over time, but honestly, I don't think so. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they do have years of knowledge and experience and also a ton of money.
Yeah.
So certain artists do not want to do the independent route. And
Yeah.
that's completely okay.
Right.
They're going to want to do everything big and whatever, out the gate. They're going to want the check.
Yeah.
They don't like, yo, what do you mean I got to wait 2 months to get my first check? Like some people are very impatient
Yeah.
for certain things. So at the end of the day, I feel like that will still be a place.
Yeah.
For certain people, that's again, this is going to be their choice. But for me, it's like for people that don't, for me, again, that's been the only choice for so long. It's opening that up to, no, there's actually different ways of doing this. So just giving people an option is what I'm open and excited about.
God,
Damn. Okay. Yeah, that's just, I don't know. I feel like for most of the artists that I see right now that are blowing up, and a lot of them are independent. Most of them are independent.
I'm trying to think. Like,
that I know of.
I was gonna say, because there are a lot.
there's a lot of
it's
artists,
pretty 50-50 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think.
I would say there's definitely a lot more artists signed.
Yeah.
Than it is independent. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess I don't know. I guess sometimes it can be dependent on how you view, I guess the term blowing up or successful.
Yeah,
I guess that's what kind of,
true.
because it's like you'll find someone who's completely independent right now who may be living very comfortably with just like all their songs have less than 1,000 or less than like 1 million plays. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
they're completely okay because guess what? They're collecting all of that money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like it doesn't. Like it just depends on everyone's level, their own personal level of what success and blowing up is to them.
I feel.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
feel like that's what changes the balances. Because again, some people want to blow up and have everyone know their name, and some people are just like, "Yo, I just want to really be able to do what I love,
Yeah.
cover my groceries and cover my rent,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe travel a little bit from doing shows, and that's it."
Yeah.
Some people are truly content with that, and I think that's the biggest thing. I guess again we talk
Yeah.
about. It's just like being content with what you're doing and what you're building. Versus, and again, nothing's wrong with wanting more.
Yeah.
But being aware of what you're giving up for wanting more, though, as well.
So
Yeah.
then, well, okay. I guess it's kind of a tangent, but trying to bring it back a little bit. So, what would you say? What would you consider your favorite? I guess team that you've been a part of, for a project that one of your teams has worked on. What's been one of your favorite projects to be involved in? That you can see, like as whatever either.
This sounds like a setup question. I'm sorry.
It's not a set of questions.
I'm sorry.
Barring anything from me, you don't even have to include me. I am not talking about myself.
I love everyone I work with, just so everyone knows. I really am so excited for everyone's projects. Like, genuinely, like, I really am excited for everyone's projects. Like,
Same.
the stuff I have dropping with Soulection and also Subtle, and then just other people in general that I also work with, like, yo, it's going to be a very good next few years, for real. So it's like, I don't know how to answer that. Like, I'm not going to lie.
What's that one of them, not all of them?
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I mean, so, okay, what I can say, I guess, I'll go back to, I guess, my first shot of organizing a project.
Yeah.
Right? So my very first shot was on Soulection Tip, for sure. And it was Monty Booker. He was the very first person I brought into Soulection, and I was just like, yo, this person's dope. Trust me. And again, a lot of that before that was mostly Joe. So when it came to curating and finding different artists, I was like, yo, Monty's dope. He's a good person, because for me, it's like hopping on the phone, catching up. And at the time, Monty, like, again, everyone has their start. Monty's working at Starbucks. You know what I mean? So it's like everyone has a start. And I was like, yo, this music is fire. Like, yo, I know you can be doing this full time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like, let's just try it out.
Yeah.
And you know, Monty Booker White Label came out, and that was kind of the test. That was kind of the tester, and that did pretty well. And then from there, I got more and more involved on curating and organizing the music side of things.
Joe was like, I see you.
So, so it was.
He understands the sound of tomorrow.
Wow.
So
Hold up.
yeah.
You
So-
telling me that you're the man that helped bring that to life?
Monty begets Monty. You know what I'm saying?
No, Monty, Smee, and Raven, they all made that happen.
No. Yeah, for real. I mean,
just
that's
off
on them.
top,
That's
but
totally all
I
them.
No, I feel you. Just want to make it very clear. But no,
Yeah.
I definitely just wanted to, share that story.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I definitely, I could hear it with Monty. And I was like, man,
Yeah.
he's dope. So
Yeah, he's bringing something new.
exactly.
No one ever
and for
heard
me,
before.
it's always about doing that.
Yeah.
Especially even more so now with Soulection, it's really expanding what people would determine the sound of tomorrow, because the only genre that Soulection has is good music.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a particular sound people have been accustomed to
Right.
moving forward.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting over the next few
Yeah.
years. But yeah.
Good to know.
So it's a process with
It
all
always
of
is.
that. But
Yeah.
when the project's coming out, oh man. I am so This 20 ooh man. Like I'm telling
I
y'all.
love it. You're like
it's,
you're teetering on like wanting to say something.
I wanna
but you're
say
like,
so
You wanna
much.
say so many things.
just because it's like,
But you can't, because it's part of the plan.
you know,
It's
like
part of
one of my biggest things is I always feel like people don't listen to me.
Yeah.
Because and for some reason I do. And sometimes people don't listen to me, and it's like,
Yeah.
I told you, like, you know what I mean? But I'm not trying to be that guy, but like, yo, I told you. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
crazy. And it's like, I'm just excited because these
Yeah.
projects are like, I told y'all, like, yo, told you, don't sleep on, don't sleep on these people. You feel me?
You
So
can't-
it's
you
like,
can't even say who the
like,
people are.
yeah, like, just don't sleep. You feel me? So it's like people, again, it's just, and again, I realize like with music and like with anything, it just
Yeah.
takes time. You know, it takes time for it to
Yeah.
reach.
It does.
It takes
It does.
time for it to,
To
like,
build.
Yeah, to build momentum, because it's like, even for Colors, for example, that didn't take off until a year and some change after.
Yep.
After it was released?
Yeah.
Damn, I did
That's
not know
when it
that.
started.
Wait,
to really-
hold on.
Yeah.
When did that come out again?
It came out in 2015.
13? 2015.
It started
That
taking
makes
off in
sense.
20. It
Yeah.
started taking off in 2016.
Really?
Whoa.
That's crazy, because when I first heard it, I was like...
no, again, people may like it again as soon as it drops, but again, once
Yeah.
it really, I guess, started to
Soaks
build up
in.
a lot more
Yeah.
momentum in numbers,
Yeah, I
was
was
in
gonna say,
2016.
The life of a song really blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, and that's the reason. Okay, that
Yeah.
point alone is exactly why I want artists to think 20 years down the line.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If you give up all the rights to a song and it's like, oh, cool, let's say it may not take off the way you hope in the first 5 years, but it may have been the 6th year, it gets a placement and a sync in something,
Yeah.
then guess
Or
what? It gets millions of streams.
An
Like,
influencer might happen. Because
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
how one of Monty's songs popped off, because I think Kylie or Kendall shared it on their Snapchat feed. And
that was Sam G.
Sam?
That was Sam G. and Connor Pearson.
Ah!
That was Sam G. Yep.
Yeah. But that's how it happens.
Yep.
You have somebody who's like, I like this. I'm going to share it with my followers.
Yeah.
It's just,
And it just happens. And that's exactly why organization is key. Because people most of the time get confused with the music business because no one likes to talk about the business stuff until after the music is
Yeah.
out or after an opportunity comes in. So, but hey, that is not the case with anyone I'm working with or anything like that. So everyone is A-OK in that department.
Yeah.
We are organized and good to go.
So,
So,
you have
yeah.
a good sense of organization. You have a sense of how to deal with people on a business tip. How do you deal with people on a personal tip? You know,
Yeah.
what is your personal life like? Like what's a day in the life of Monty? You know, how do the siblings? Speaking of which, siblings, do you have any? Why? You know,
Yeah,
how does that work with you being out of the house all the
Yeah.
time? Or, you know, like how does
Siblings, how do they work?
that? I know it works for me.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, I have these things called parents, you know. So, but no. So, I have a very large family. I have, pretty much 7 siblings.
Yeah.
An adopted brother. bear with me, y'all. All right, hold on. So I have an adopted brother.
Family listens to this. They're like, what?
Right?
Like, you should know my
I
name.
have 3 brothers and three sisters. 3 brothers, 3 sisters. Excuse me, and an older brother.
Yo.
So yeah.
I don't know. This math sounds kind of shoddy right now.
Yeah, just bear in mind. Just because, my family's all over the place. I have like a family in VA and family in North Carolina.
Yeah.
So I try my best to keep everything balanced. So like day in the life is it's a process for me all the time. Because I really love what I do a lot.
Right.
So disconnecting is such a process and mission. Because it's like, I literally can have certain mornings I start off with phone calls with someone overseas or whatever. You know what I mean? Or have to hop on the emails because this just something happened or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's very always on the grid type of lifestyle.
Do you feel like you can't disconnect some days? Like if you were to plan out like a few days of just like,
we're
can you even do that?
Time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
We'll be down from 2 a.m.
Wait, is your question, do I feel like... I mean, yeah, of course I could do that.
That's what I'm saying about it.
You know what it is? The thing about it, at least for me, for some reason I always have the mindset like I'm running out of time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that I want to accomplish with my life and in my life.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I don't do it, I'm running out of time.
Yes.
Now, don't get me wrong. I still need time for myself just to think clearly and disconnect because you actually genuinely need that.
Yeah.
And when I do, I really do.
Yeah.
You cannot hit me. Like I did. For example, I did my very first vacation in my entire life last year. I went to Iceland. You know what I mean? Truly, I told everyone,
Crazy.
like, I'm disconnecting.
I am off.
I am off the grid. And everyone respected, everyone knew.
Yeah.
Although
Even
you did hit me up. You did hit me up when you were on vacation. And I was like, word.
Man, that's a secret.
I was like, you should be.
You put me on blast though right now?
No, I didn't say why. I just said you hit me up. That's all I'm saying.
So,
you weren't off the grid. You were
okay.
just turned off the grid.
I turned off. Okay. Yes, I need to work on it, people. Okay. It's not proper. It's not healthy. But for me, it's like, listen, I have to do this for a reason because there's a lot that I want to change.
Yeah.
That's the reason why for me, I'm down and I don't complain about, I don't give myself time. Like, cool. I know exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So I'm down to put in the time.
Yeah.
And I'm also down to put in the off time though, too. When I do make time for that.
Yeah.
That's why
it's
well,
necessary.
technically this isn't off time at all.
Yes,
but
not at all.
It's grind time.
It definitely is. But it's like, the thing about Erie, what I will tell people this. So it's like, I came to Erie for my very first time last summer.
Yes.
Met Luis and Naji at the spot. And it's like, the town is so peaceful and I really love this area. Like, honestly, I definitely contemplated moving here, low key. And I was just like, could I? But then I was like, I actually do I feel like I really would need the airport. Like, I need to make it. That's the only thing. But it's like, outside of that, it's like, I love it. It's peaceful. It's calm. And I'm able to really focus. The thing about when I travel to LA or New York, it's nonstop meetings. Nothing's wrong with that because that's a part of the business as well. But I'm not able to actually do the work or like actually build and develop anything. Yeah. Because I'm running to meetings. I'm in an Uber. I'm in a Lyft. I'm responding to this. So it's like to have dedicated time. Yeah. I can do that here at the 1,000-story household. So it's like, and again, like I know something that's going to be built out over time.
Yes.
Plans. Exactly. Plans. Because it makes sense. Yeah. Artists and people in general who are creatives need a place to let their ideas out in peace. Yes. You know what I mean? And just giving themselves time. So it's like everyone will hear about these 1,000 stories that are households that are popping up all over the place.
Like, what's going on there?
But it's like people need that. I needed this. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I came out to help everyone out, I was like, hey, I needed it too. You feel me? Like, I wanted to just come and focus and just build out everything and connect with y'all. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
definitely
space.
You know what I mean?
Sure. That and exploding kittens. You know?
Oh man,
people. Let me tell y'all, this is a game you all have to experience.
You do. You honestly do.
Friendships are tested, though. Please be aware.
That's the best part about it.
It is.
If you make it through this game without killing each other, it gets close.
Oh, we're in the cone of shame.
It gets very close.
Cone of shame.
The cone of shame.
Ooh.
Changes your opinion on people. So
absolutely.
P.S. I have I have one picture of Monty wearing the cone of shame.
He wore it once. He almost wore it twice. I'm so mad.
Almost.
But he didn't because somebody wasn't here. I can't even remember. But
all right, next topic. All right. So,
but that is a game.
It is a phenomenal game, though.
Yeah. Yo, I'm just remembering that picture, man. Sorry.
Let's not get it twisted. I definitely have one of you as well.
Yeah, you probably have several of me.
I do.
Yeah.
You and Mark. Shout
And
out to Mark.
myself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've worn
Naji.
I've worn it plenty of times. Yeah, plenty of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It is.
But would you say, so speaking of that, you know, would you say that your personality is prone to, like, how do you deal with stress or, you know, anger, emotions like that? Like, how do you process that? Where does your mind go when you feel an uncomfortable situation?
That's a great question. For me, when it comes to certain challenges or stress or, I mean, it's weird, I guess, because for me, it's like, oh, it's not that serious. Like, I don't know. I view everything as, sorry, it's not that serious.
Yeah.
It's not life or death.
I feel you.
It's different. If different as someone, like, had a gun to your head, it's like, yo, make a decision. That's a different scenario.
Right.
You know what I mean? But other than that, it's like, oh, my God, the release didn't go up, or I didn't forgot to do this. It's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's another day. Like, hey, guess what? You woke up today. That's great. Let's start with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you made it through the day. If you didn't post something or release something, it's not the end of the world.
Yep.
We'll be okay.
Yeah.
So I tend to I guess I'm somewhat nonchalant about a lot of different things. So it's like, that's just like, you know, someone can be super angry or whatever. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I feel you. Like, I get it. Totally understand. And sometimes I get my moments where I'm really boosted too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get really, it depends on the topic. Like, I can get really boosted or whatever. Boost is one of my words, by the way.
Right. Yeah. We need to make a. I was talking about it earlier. We need to make a sample pack of Monty's popular catchphrases. So we got boosted, super boosted,
1,000%.
Word. Yeah. We got word. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my vocabulary is very large.
I feel you. That's the clincher.
That's a clincher right there.
I
Yeah.
feel you.
Yeah. That's for when he really feels you.
And then there's also I feel you, but that's when he's like, you're wrong.
I mean, I feel you.
Right. That's exactly. Hey, you got it. You got it.
Hey,
we understand.
I'm learning.
Y'all get it. Okay. But no, like, for me, when it comes to stress and stuff, it's you know, at the end of the day, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Whatever situation is, we'll handle it and take our time with it. Like, it's not panicking about it. Why would I put that energy into it? That's how I view it.
With the artists that you've partnered with, have you ever run into a situation? I don't want to, you don't want to get into names. Him included. Yeah.
He said him included.
Put him on blast.
That's a loaded question.
Have you ever run into a moment where you're starting to work with them and they've just kind of gotten a little bit, I don't want to say out of control. That's not the phrase that I want to use, but a little bit like difficult to handle is also not the words that I want to use, but you know what I mean? Like just
Conflict of interest.
Yeah, stressed, like real
just
stressed, or just like you had a moment.
You know what?
That was conflicting. You know what I mean?
There's certain moments. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. At the end of the day, it's like, and again, you know what? It goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Just, no one likes change.
Yeah.
So if I spend all night working on something, someone's like, ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, for sure. I completely get it. And then you got to go back to the drawing board and redo it or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you definitely fight for it and be like, oh, but I mean, you know, there's a reason for this or that. But it just depends. So I wouldn't say one person in particular. Obviously, of course, there's going to be different opinions to everything. That's just life.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing, actually.
Yeah.
Because new ideas can come from that.
Yeah.
But I guess it's more so being open and not. And, you know, one thing that I try to really be mindful of is really staying humble. Like, that I really like to live by. And it's like, I'm not always right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am a lot. But I'm not. No. So, no.
I am dying.
No. But on a serious tip, it's like, No, like honestly, it's like no one's ever always right.
Yeah.
You have to be able to accept that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd rather go with whatever's the best option than
Right.
whatever's right.
Right. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, what is the best option for a particular case and scenario or whatever it is.
Because the goal is not for you to be
exactly.
right or the other person
goal
to be
is
right. It's
whatever
to-
the vision is.
Exactly.
What's going to help get to the vision faster or better or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So obviously people have different opinions to reach those different levels.
Yes.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Because everyone has different upbringings and stuff like that. And that's a beautiful thing of having different opinions.
Yes.
Again, it's just knowing how to communicate. Communication is very, very critical, I would say, to everyone out there. If you don't know, communication's very important. That's something, again, I learned through Soulection University.
Yeah.
Because me and the team would get into it about certain things, and you'd be surprised what you can get away with just saying, well, I think this, or I think that, instead of, well, it should be like this, or you're wrong, or it's like this.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. Like, just simple wording and phrasing can make a huge difference in how people take it in and receive it, though, as well.
Yeah.
Because if you tell someone you're wrong, guess what? They immediately already shut down. And
Yeah,
again, a
'cause
lot
they
of this,
stop- they
exactly,
stop
they stop
listening.
listening to exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
And again, some of that I also learned through social psychology, just like how
Yeah.
people operate. So I try to be very mindful of that at all times.
Yeah. This has been a public service announcement.
Yeah.
Brought to you by
little.
Monty.
Yeah. So yeah, man, that's kind of how I get through it and deal with that. Yeah.
Do you have any ritualistic practices to keep, like to just like de-stress at the end of like an intense week? Like, do you have anything that you do to just kind of center yourself?
You know what? Like, it could be the most. Yeah, sometimes it just depends. So there's different kinds. So I have my days where I do not do anything except watch Netflix at all.
Yes.
Like, yo, do not.
Don't even talk to me.
Like, my phone's on airplane mode. Like,
Yeah.
you cannot reach me. Type of vibe. Like, I'm just disconnected.
Yeah.
Because I just need that time just to not actually do something. Let me watch what somebody else has done for a moment. So, you know what I mean? So it'll be that or listening to music.
Yeah.
Like, and really just chilling.
Experiencing.
Yeah.
Experiencing life.
Or hiking. I like to do that a lot.
Oh.
Yeah. I do like to do that a lot. Once I make time for it, I love
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another reason why I love traveling, is just to get out. Hiking and museums, those are my things. I just really, I'm out. I disconnect and I get to. It's weird, but that's how I find my zen, find my peace.
We got to go to the Cleveland Museum sometime.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
Pretty
Yeah.
close.
It's
with
free.
that.
And it's one of the best museums in the country.
I like free.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm down.
Yeah.
Those LA museums ain't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, no.
DC ones are free, so I'm
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not cheap though, but
Oh, man, that's too funny.
You think that would work for a date? That's like, I'm not cheap, but like free is dope.
But like, I honestly feel like if they don't understand at that
at
point,
least you're honest.
Yeah.
Hey, for me, at the end of the day, if you're honest and comfortable, and the other person's comfortable,
Yeah.
hey, we got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
I don't got time to do this whole. Let me try to put up a front, but
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not getting to that. But yeah.
Well, Monty, it has been an absolute pleasure learning some of your backstory, learning how you
Definitely.
operate, learning how you want to take things into the future.
Definitely.
It's a gift. We need more thinkers. We need more innovators. And I'm glad you're one of them.
Free thinkers.
Yes, free thinkers.
Free thinkers.
So, is there anything else you want to say before we sign off?
I mean, off top, I'm really proud, and I will have to say I'm proud of both y'all. No, honestly, just like I'm excited to see you guys continue to build and develop the 1,000 Story and build this out.
Hey.
I really love the podcast. Off top,
We're
you know
glad
what I
you
mean?
did.
Turn from an idea to reality. You know what I mean? Y'all doing
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so off top, I'm
How do you
really
take a
excited.
compliment? Like,
Thank you.
There you go. You just take it. You know?
thanks, man.
So, I would definitely like to end with that, and thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
Allowing me to come to your home, inviting me in,
Yes.
and be able to just zone out and just do my thing. Yeah.
My man.
So where can we
Appreciate
find
pleasure,
you on the
guys.
interwebs? I know we mentioned it in the previous episode.
Yeah,
But this is a
yeah.
new episode.
Absolutely. Well, you can find me on Twitter and IG. Do not use Facebook. At MONTYLOV.
Monty Love.
My love. You know what I mean? So I appreciate everyone out there listening, taking the time to. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
So if anybody has any questions for ourselves or Monty or for Thousand Story in general, hit us up over Twitter, Instagram, at @thousandstory_. That is an actual underscore, not the word underscore. And, or on the site too, at thousandstory.co/contact. And, leave a review, let it talk about it. If it's good, bad, doesn't matter. On any podcast that you're listening to, definitely helps us out and helps us get better. But we want to thank you for listening so far. It's been a pretty cool journey. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, if we have any other, do we have anything else that we want to talk about next week or this? I feel like we got some more to talk about.
We got more, man. We got a lot more stuff to talk about. Yeah. So there's just so much. You know what I mean? So much is changing too. Yeah. That is just all relevant.
This is stall talk for him to get his phone out of his.
You always ask me.
You should prepare. You should know this by now.
Man,
that's how we operate.
Hold on. Here's the thing: is you ask me because you don't know.
That is also true, but
that's exactly why.
So we'll see.
All right. So next week, we're talking about what's luck got to do with it. Yes. Monty, we were having this conversation this morning about luck. Yeah. So that's gonna be next week.
So what is the conversation about then?
It's about luck, opportunity, and preparedness.
And the difference between them. How can you prepare
and how they play together. Yes.
So stay tuned for next week's episode.
Right.
Also, if you want to hit us, me or Louise on socials, my handles are at Mr. Naji Boy, MrNajiBoy, on Twitter and Instagram.
And you can find me on Instagram at L Pontillo. I'm getting myself mixed up. That's LPONTILLO on Instagram, and on Twitter it's at Luis Pontillo. It's LUISPONTILLO. Yeah.
And again, thank you, Monty.
Thanks, Monty. You're the best.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you.
And we'll see you next week,
anytime.
loves. Peace.